So we are making beef stroganoff today. A very nice beefy dish with mushrooms and cream.
Simpol, simpol, luto na, ha-ha.
So today we are making beef stroganoff, and I prepared my beef ahead of time, not marinating it, but made sure it becomes tender. Here is a tip. So we are working with beef today, and I will teach you how to prepare your beef to make it a bit more tender than it actually is if you are not using premium cuts of meat. So this recipe calls for tenderloin, pero yung gamit ko dito is sirloin. And I'm just using local beef, and which can have the tendency to be tougher, no? One way to do it, there's several ways to do it, no? One way is to cut it thinly across the grains. Kung ito yung grano, kontra grano. So, when you chew into it, you can chew and digest it easily kasi it has shorter strands. So, ito, I'll show you. One way is to cut it across the grain. Yan, you see? It's cut across the grain. Cut it into thin pieces across the grain. That's one. Another way to do it also is, you have a piece of meat, you have some plastic wrap, put it over your meat, and you pound. Yan. That will help tenderize your meat as well. Yan. So I have 1 and 2 ways to do it. Another way is to add a bit of acid, no? So you can add like lemon juice, or what you can also do if you want to stir fry this meat is to add a little bit of baking soda. So the baking soda will help tenderize the meat, but it's very important na hindi masyadong marami because it will also have a bitter aftertaste. Yan, yung beef. And we can season with salt and baking soda. So we're using around 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda for 1/2 kilo of our beef. Leave it for a few minutes to overnight before cooking your beef. The nice thing about this recipe is it's actually a Russian recipe. And it can be served on its own. It can be served over rice. It can be served with pasta or potatoes. Basta it's beef with mushrooms and cream, no? And very important, it's not just cream, it is sour cream. So if you don't have sour cream at home, ito, I have cream. I will start off with a little bit of lemon, and I will get my onion as well, and I will, to convert my cooking cream into sour cream, hilot-hilot lang natin yung ating lemon para lumambot siya, no? To make use of the lemon rind, I will just add it here. Sayang naman, di ba? So, when you're cooking, you try to get as much flavor from all your ingredients as much as possible. Hindi lang yung nakalagay doon, pero if your ingredients have the potential to give your food more flavor, you do it like this one. I'm just adding my zest to my beef. Yan. For a more citrusy flavor. Yan. And I will use half a lemon to make my sour cream. Yan. Even if it's creamy, the acid will help us, clean our palate somehow. So, I just let that sit for it to curdle a little bit and become, a little bit more creamy. And I will marinate. In our tip, I showed you, I added very little salt lang. But now, I will add Worcestershire sauce. Yan. That's around 2 tablespoons. Marinate that. I'll just marinate it with a little bit more, paprika to give it a nice color. Black pepper. Yan. And I will add my flour. Ito, iba. Just add my flour. Around 4 tablespoons of flour into my beef. Look at that, no? Dredging it. Ganyan. Yan, very simple. And I'm using fresh mushrooms. If you don't have fresh shiitake, you can use canned mushrooms. Don't stress out, no. Ito, I remove the stems, and usually I add that, I keep that, and use it for stock later on. And I will prepare my mushrooms. I will just julienne, cut into strips. My mushrooms are there. Garlic, I'm going to chop my garlic. Onions. Chop my onions. Heat up my pan. Look at that. And I will saute my ingredients. I start off with my oil, using olive oil and butter. So I'm heating my butter and my oil in my very kikay mass flex pan, my wok, and yan. And I will start off with sauteing my beef. So you can do it in batches, no? Para mag-brown talaga siya. Saute. Wait, I'll do it in batches na lang. Yan, no? So that's very nice pieces of meat browning. And I will just add my garlic, no? So we just have mild garlic flavor. Yan, add our onions. Saute our onions. You really have to saute it. Yan, saute mo yung fresh mushrooms. Yan, so now I really smell the aroma, very nice aroma of my mushrooms. Yan, and I will just get a little bit of mustard. I'm using Dijon mustard. If you don't have Dijon mustard, you just use regular mustard, but you use lesser. So I'll just add like a tablespoon or 2. Ang bilis lang, no? So the mushroom is nicely sauteed, and now I will add my beef stock, no? So important to use beef stock. If you don't use beef stock, and look at that, because we added our flour already earlier, it will thicken immediately. Look at that, no? Very nice. Look at that, very nice color. I'm so excited, and I will now add, you can add your sour cream. Look at that, no? Nag-thicken, nag-curdle na yung aking cream. Add my cream towards the last. That's done, very nice. Season with salt. Yan. And freshly cracked black pepper. It's done, and very nice thickness. Look at that. But I like more pepper. Diba? It now tastes like premium beef, ha? And that, I'll just put that aside. And now, I will make pasta to go along with this, no? And I'm going to prepare my pasta. I'm using fusilli pasta. You can use whatever you want. Again, salt your water properly. Huwag magtipid sa asin. Yan, that's around 2 tablespoons. I'll add my pasta. Yan. We're just adding like garlic, sliced garlic, saute it in butter, toss, and just add a little bit of fresh parsley and salt, pepper, and that's done. Yeah, that's good enough. In a few minutes, we'll be done. So I will begin to melt my butter here. Yan. So very nice. Yan, that, no? So di ba nagfo-froth na yung ating butter? Yan ang milk solids, ha? Those are mixed milk solids. And we will remove that, no? So if I don't remove the milk solids, mangyayari niyan, magiging parang buhangin siya. It's going to like dirty a little bit. And now I can fry my garlic very nicely. Yan. Browning and all the flavor is there. Very nice. Pasta is done. Yan, al dente. Look at that. I will just transfer it directly into my... Yan. And I will just add a little bit of my pasta water. And I will not add salt anymore. Huh? No more salt. Just toss that. Add my fresh parsley. And my lemon. Add lemon. Very nice. Yan. So, we're able to brown the butter, which has a very nice nutty aroma. And now, we can add a little bit more of our fresh butter, no? Just for that added creaminess. Yan. Black pepper. Black pepper, very nice. Yan. More butter on my knife. Toss, toss, toss. Yan. Tossing my pasta. Look at that. And you can serve it side by side with your, yan, with your stroganoff. You can put it on top, no? Serve it on top. Look at that, very nice. I have my stroganoff, which you can do ahead of time. Cook your pasta last minute and to serve. Sarap nito. Serve it on top. Yan. Sarap, guys. Try this recipe. I hope you learned more kitchen secrets. And this is my beef stroganoff recipe. Simple!